Are you going to do a piece on what really happened with the balloons?
No, because it's too trivial. But I will tell you, there were contracts given to the University of Fairbanks in northern Alaska. They needed coverage over when most of the major airlines go from the Asia to America over the North Pole.
Yeah.
There's no weather station there. And the pilots, even though at 30,000 feet, it'd be nice to know if there was a sudden downdraft or something going on below. They needed to know. So the Fairbanks got this contract to send up balloon type things. They were vehicles, really. That's what they shot down to monitor the weather. They had a federal contract. The government paid for that. And of course, nobody's talking about that.
They shot it down by accident, or they shot it down to make it look like they were doing something?
I don't know what they did.
Okay.
I have no idea what they were doing. But anything to make a fight with China, that's the way it goes.
Does it surprise you, Seymour, that an 85-year-old guy writing on Substack can break something that shocks the world?
I didn't know how powerful Substack was. I have a friend, Matt Taibbi, who writes a lot for Substack, and he was telling me, he pushed me into it. He said, it's amazing. And I will tell you, it's a very discerning crowd, because a lot of people have been waiting to somebody to explicate the Gulf thing. It was just a mystery. I don't know why my own newspaper, I've said privately to somebody I know there, and I've said not that much, only a couple of times.
It was New York Times.
I mentioned
that
the pipeline people know something, but nobody's chasing it. It's just, and look, do I see the Democrats, as I said, having a hearing on it? When we were in My Lai days, the Democrats were against trying to stop the war, with a lot of Republicans. There were moderate Republicans that were just fantastic then. You had a real group of legislators who understood, again, that we were going in a death spiral there, not only to our own people, but to a lot of people in Asia. And by the way, if you want to know about containment, if you looked at what happened in Saigon in 1975, Saigon fell. And a couple of weeks later, Cambodia fell. Communists took over, crazies. And a couple of weeks after that, Vientiane and Laos fell. So the whole purpose that we gave for explaining the war was to contain Red China and North Vietnam, contain the communists. And so everything we were fighting for collapsed within a month. And guess what happened? Nothing. They all became eventually, we're the largest trading partner of Vietnam now, which used to be North Viet, was the North one, the country's unified. Nothing happened. So all that stuff we were doing, containing China, who lost the whole notion of containment, that's what I've been looking at. It falls on its head. It was just wrong. And so when David Halberstam was a wonderful guy and a friend of mine, wrote a book called The Best and the Brightest. And I always wondered, because they weren't that bright. They may have been the first in their class at Harvard, but in the real world, they like McNamara, who's head of Ford, was a whiz kid. They had no common sense when it came down to it. But I understand now that title was sarcastic. I wish David died long ago, and I wish I could have asked him about it.
My name is Jim Rickards. I'm a former advisor to the CIA, Department of Defense, and the White House. In a moment, you'll have my own evidence that very few people have seen. You'll see how I believe two acts of democratic stupidity are about to combine into a storm that will change America forever: the American energy Armageddon. In fact, due to specific circumstances created by the Armageddon, it's possible you could now win big while others lose. You see, there's a universal truth. In times of crisis, money moves. During the coming energy Armageddon, most Americans will face new hardships, but not all. A few will win, and win big. You're about to see how the energy Armageddon could create a one-time opportunity to secure new substantial wealth. If you want in, keep watching. Right now, today, America is running out of gas, diesel, and oil. Our national fuel reserves are down 50% or more from where they should be. It's so urgent, major suppliers are calling it a code red emergency. We don't have the refining capacity to catch up, and we're shipping most of what we have to Europe to bail them out of Calamity Joe's Nordstream crisis. We're now facing catastrophic fuel shortages I predict will collapse our nation's energy grid. When it happens, every citizen will see firsthand the Dems' obsession with green energy is a scam. In fact, I'm going to show you my evidence that outs them as shameless hypocrites. That's not all. I predict this storm will bring about a new social order to our country. Many who are now rich will find their accounts drained, and those who are poor will turn to desperate measures to survive. I'm talking about civil unrest, a massive crime wave, and violence in our streets. Most will suffer under Biden's energy Armageddon, but not everyone. Some good Americans will win. They'll take advantage of wealth-building opportunities created by the upheaval, which I'll reveal here today, to vastly improve their personal economic situation. And that's the most important thing I want to share with you. Now, if the idea of winning while others suffer makes you uncomfortable, no problem. Then this presentation is not for you. But the way I see it, our great nation was built during times of crisis when a few smart people recognized opportunity and seized it. If you see the storm coming, if you know Calamity Joe and his ilk are steering us straight into it, and you want to not just survive, but thrive by using the crisis potentially to grow your personal wealth, then you're exactly who I want to reach today. Give me about 3 minutes of your time. I'm going to show you everything right now.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?